Hi everybody, how you doing? Jo here again. I just thought I'd pop in today with an extra little crafty catch up. A couple of you have been in touch and said you're having a bit of a rough time at the minute. So I thought, you know what, let's craft together. And the thing is, I've got a birthday card to make for a friend. So I thought what better thing to do than invite you into my craft room with me and let's have a chat while I make it. So I've made you a brew, you sit down, enjoy that, and let's have a catch up. So I'm going to make a DL card today, and just because I love DL cards, sometimes they're called Slimline cards. I just think they're so elegant. And as I say, it's a birthday card for a friend. So we're literally going to make it up as we go along. So I've cut myself a piece of card ready. And I've literally cut it just so it fits on top. And I think this is something like 20 centimetres by 9. But obviously you just do it by eye to see what fits your card blank. I buy ready-made card blanks. And I'm going to do some stamping. I've already added my black Sharpie line round. I must admit quite often if I've got a few minutes, I've started cutting myself some pieces of card ready and actually putting the black Sharpie line round. So I've got a stack of these ready so that if I need a quick card, which quite often I do, I don't know about you, the basis of my design is there ready. So that's just what I've started doing. And I'm going to come in with the Bell Flower Vine. I adore this stamp, I have to say, absolutely beautiful. Sometimes you have favourites, and I know we shouldn't have favourites, but this is one of mine. Anyway, I hope your brew's okay. No cheeky biscuits today, we're being good. And I'm going to start an ink up just in the black in the Nocturne. And I know my friend will like this. She loves the garden. She loves florals. So I'm going to put that there. Going to be quite a sort of classic design, this, I think. Clean and simple-ish. I hope you've had a lovely weekend and that your week started well. I seem very busy at the minute, but busy's not a bad thing. When you're stamping this, look, it almost tessellates. I don't think it's almost been drawn. I mean, I have to ask Tracy to tessellate, but you can see the shape. And when you stamp it, repeatedly stamping, it almost looks like it's come from a larger stamp. I mean, I do find when I've finished this design, and I'm just going to, now I could, actually, I think that would look nice there. Or do I come in? No, I think I want to come in a little bit more. Yes, I like that shape. And I'm just going to turn it round. So if it messes with your head, I'm sorry, you know me. I have to do it the easiest way for me. And I want to come in just with this here. There. Because what I want is this lovely design. Quite often I do an along the edge design, which you'll have seen me do before. But this, I'm going to put my sentiment here. I just like to mix it up a bit, you know, especially when I'm just creating at home. I just mess things up a bit. And while I've got my stamp, I want to stamp the envelope. So again, I'm just using the permanent ink, and we'll put one on this sort of flap at the back. I don't know what it's called. In my head, it's the flap at the back. And then we'll put this across. I think we'll go this corner. Again, I'm only using permanent ink because if I add any colour with a dye-based ink and then it rains, which quite often it does here in the UK, what will happen is the ink will run and I don't think the postman will be very happy. So if I stick to a permanent, then I know this will keep the postman happy, or post lady. Mind you, I've been and just posted something this morning, and I must admit the post here has gone up. So it's going to cost more. And I'm just going to do some second generation stamping on another piece of card, which I'm going to have as my insert. And again, for this, I'm just going to do opposite corners And again, I love so let me just blot this and then I'll move this out of the way. Even though it's second generation, I'm still going to give it a bit of a blot. And we'll blot this. Should be dry by now, but we don't want to smudge it, so let's give it a blot. And then we can move this out of the way. So just so you see the difference. So if you're one of our new crafters, the difference, first generation is obviously the first ink you've put on there. Second generation, we've stamped some off so it will be paler. So in my head, I think there's only sort of half as much ink, but it's nice for the insert. I always think if it's paler. And in fact, I'll get this back because I'll stamp the sentiments on both these. Now I'm going to come in with, on the Heartfelt verses, we've got our birthday wishes. So obviously with this being a birthday card. Now on the insert, I'm going to stamp with first generation. I could do second because obviously I know I want the design paler, but I think for the sentiment we need that in. And I'm going to put it up here so that I've got plenty of room to write my nice message there. On this one, I'm going to put this. Now, the main thing is I need to get it straight. And I'm hoping I've left just the right sort of gap that will look. And I love this diagonal. As you know, there's something about diagonals that I just love. And again, we'll blot that sentiment because I don't want to smudge it. And the same, we'll blot that. Now, I could leave it like that, but I'm thinking I want to just add a little bit more. You know what I'm like with stencils. So we're coming in with the feather leaf. And we're going to use some crushed olive, just because I love this sort of, it's a greeny yellow colour. And as I say, I think my friend will really love this. This is quite a dry ink pad, so I'm not actually going to take any off. And again, I'm going to do the diagonal. And I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to turn my card round. Now, as I say, this is just how I work at home. And I'm going to start here so it's deeper. And I'm going over the stamped design. That's fine. And I just want to bring a little bit of stencil work at the top and down the side. So let's have a look how that's looking. Oh, that's lovely. You see, I don't want any more than that. I think that's subtle. Can you see that? So we'll come in and we'll do the same going up here. So I want to be mindful not to get these edges. So if we put the stencil like that, yeah. And again, I'm going to come in here heavier because I want it deeper colour down this edge. And then we'll come in lighter. And this is the bit where we almost tickle because we want it lighter. And just move my hand. Again, you could tape it down, but you know, when you need a card sort of pretty quick, like, obviously I need to get this in the post, so I'm not taping it down. That's pretty. Little bit more just here. I can afford to just nice and light, tickle, tickle, gently, gently. Again, let's have a look here. And I think that looks really pretty. We've got deeper colour in the corners and we're coming across to the middle, and I love this shape there. So on the insert, I'll just do the same. But I want this light again, so I'm not going to re-ink, and I'm actually going to use some of that ink that's on the stencil and just blend it across. So that corner, again, I have a thing about opposite corners. As you know, I must admit, it's so lovely because it's becoming quite a trend now. Somebody did message me and say, you need to think of a name for it because it's going to become a technique that people are going to use. And I thought, what can we call it? So if you've got any ideas, just drop me a note and let me know. Corner to corner, maybe? Corner to corner? C to C? I don't know. But there is just something about, for me, doing opposite corners and bringing it in. I mean, look at that for an insert. I think that's beautiful. Now I'll put my stencil brush, and what I'll do is got a spare piece of card here. So let's, right Eric mate, you're going to get wet. He's fast asleep under my desk, so I've just spritzed that. And we'll get ourselves that bonus background. So we'll put the insert out of the way. And I'm going to do some watercolour painting. So while this is just going onto my card there, it needs a few minutes just for the ink to soak in. I'm going to add some colour. I've got the crushed olive and the Saltwater Taffy. This is my new Distress Oxide colour, and I love this, so I want to use this. So I've got those ready. Again, if you're anything like me, when you need cards in a in a rush, I mean, I don't know, some of you, I believe, have a box of cards ready that you just need to add sentiments and you can send. And I have to say, I'm most envious of you. I think you're very well organised. Oh, look at that. Beautiful background. When that dries, I'm going to love using that. I'm going to put that over there. And then dry my stencil. And file that back so I can put it away. Keep it all nice and neat. And let's add some colour to the front of our card. So I've got my brush in my water pot. And I need a bit of kitchen towel just to lean on. And we'll start at the top. And I'm going to turn my work round because, again, you know, don't make it difficult for yourself. And I'm just going to paint in. And I'm using the same colour because I want to keep it tone on tone. I think it'll look very pretty. And she's such an elegant lady. I think this will just be perfect for her. And this is very quick to do. When you're using your oxides like this or your distress inks to paint with, or your elements, it's a very quick. And again, I tend to start, so at this, I'm starting further away because I've less chance of smudging it then. If I started painting here, so I'm working my way towards myself. And again, I'm just adding water, twisting my brush to keep that lovely point. These are beautiful brushes for painting. If you struggle with painting, honestly, a good brush really does help. And again, we're just painting all the leaves. And even though you're going over the area that you've inked, it's going to look beautiful. A couple more of these beautiful bellflowers. Lovely. I'll just clean my brush, because again, it's important when you're going from one colour to another, make sure your brush is lovely and clean. We'll come into this lovely pink colour. Again, I'm just going to turn it round. And we're just going to do this, almost a little flower that's hanging down. So again, we'll come in and just add that. And that pop of pink, for me, just makes all that difference. And then what I will do is get my fan brush. And I just want to add a couple of splatters of the pink, just to bring, I don't want many, so I'm tapping it lightly. Just need a little bit more water. A couple down here. Yep, that's enough. And I'm not going to watercolour the insert, but I have actually, just look, my splatters went a long way, so I am going to add a few splatters. I wasn't going to, but being honest, the fact that there's one strayed on there, let's add a few more. Right, I'm going to leave that. And then, Now this will be a great card if you wanted to batch card make. Do you know what? If I had time, I could have done 2 or 3 of these, and actually there would have been enough ink on there to watercolour paint a couple more. Like I say, one day I might be that organised crafter like you are, and I could put these in a box. You could leave this. It's a lovely design to leave without a sentiment. Now, last little thing, I'm going to add some Stickles glitter glue. Now, did you hear that? Stickles has a problem. He's a bit of a windy guy. And if you squirt it on your work, it can almost spit at your work. So I always put the Stickles on my mat. This way I won't get any where I don't want it. But also, now I've just got an old water pen here, a water brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of Stickles to these flowers. And what this means is I can paint on the Stickles exactly where I want it. And also it actually puts almost a thinner layer on so that it will dry quicker, because I need to get this card in the post later today. So I know that by just doing this amount, it will dry quick enough in time for me to get in the post. But also I can actually put it exactly where I want it. So your Stickles will actually last longer as well. Now you could use a normal paintbrush for this, but I don't want to get the glitter glue on my one of my paintbrushes. So I've just got this old, as I say, it's actually an old Wink of Stella brush that was empty. But a water brush, if you bought an inexpensive water brush and just kept it, you could make a note on it, it's for your Stickles. But that saved me getting Stickles where I don't want it. So I'm going to let that dry, and then what I'll do is pop that on there, look, and then that's going to be my finished card design. And I've got my insert ready to go inside. Do you know what? I'll open that up, and then I've got my envelope there. So I must admit, I'm really pleased with the way that's turned out. Wasn't quite sure how it was going to look across there, but I'm really pleased with it. So thank you for popping in. So lovely to just spend a little coffee break with you. As I say, it was just a bit of an impromptu. I had this card to make and I thought, do you know what? I've got some crafty friends that would like to, probably just like to join me and have a little chinwag and a catch up. So if you've been chatting along to me, thank you for joining in. And maybe have a go at something like this design. If you need a birthday card, or this would make a lovely, even a get well card. Just like this, it could make a sympathy card. You know, this stamp is just beautiful. I adore it. But then I say that's about quite a few of them, don't I? I am that sort of girl. Anyway, you take care. Thank you for popping in, and thank you for subscribing. I've had some lovely messages from new subscribers, so thank you very much. Honestly, I love it when we get new subscribers joining our family on here. But also I love it when you leave comments and I see the same names popping up again and again. It is like just meeting up with friends, even if we're across the ocean from each other. Such a lovely community on here, so thank you for being part of that. You take care, everybody. I hope the rest of the week goes well. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.